Welcome to a special edition of Forsyth Business Radio, giving back to Forsyth. I am your host, Amanda Pierce-Marmolejo, joined in studio by my co-host, Cameron Marmolejo, and today I am excited to welcome our three fantastic guests. We have Jan Rooney, who is the board president of Family Promise Forsyth. We also have Angela Dikes, who is the executive director of the Baldridge Lodge, and we also have Kosta Buzzuto, who is the chairperson for the Greek Festival here in Cumming, Georgia. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Amanda.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Amanda.
All right. Well, let's start with introducing yourselves and talking about what you guys do here in our community. And we have some hallmark events to share with you and some ways that you can participate. I'm going to put Jan in the hot seat first because I know her well. And we will ask Jan Rooney to kick us off and talk about the up-and-coming Luminary event with Family Promise. But first, give us a little bit of a history of Family Promise.
Thanks, Amanda. Family Promise, it's an organization that I've been affiliated with for about 5 years now. And what we do is we help families go from homelessness to homes. And so when it was started, a school social worker started the program and or asked about starting the program to help children in school that she found weren't in good living conditions. And so from there, she did some research and found out about Family Promise. And then a group of volunteers, our executive director is Tina Huck, she's been with us for almost all of the time that Family Promise was founded, but not for this first initial part. And so they got together, started the program, and then Tina took over as we got into the point of hiring an executive director. And so we moved to helping these children in the school who can't have friends come over because they live in a home that isn't their own, or they all live in one hotel room, we get them into sustainability and able to have their own home, and then they end up with friends, and it's really generational change. I'm really actually very passionate about it. And October 15th, we're going to have what we call a luminary garden out in Vickery Village Courtyard, so I hope everybody can come down. It's a free event for everyone, and we're going to light up 1,060 luminaries, and that is how many children were deemed homeless at the end of the school year last year. And you wouldn't think that in Forsyth County we would have so many children that just weren't able to have stability in their lives. And I'll never forget the first time I talked with a little girl whose mom graduated from the program. And I said, "What did you really like best about Family Promise?" And she looks up at me with her big blue eyes, and she's just like, "I just love that every day I know I'm coming home to my own bed." And you just never really think about that. You know, I don't think my kids ever thought, am I going to have a bed to sleep in tonight? And she would worry about if I'm going to be bad today, is the person that we're staying with going to tell us to leave? And so I know that all sounds very depressing, but the program itself isn't, because it really does help change these parents' mindsets and these families to where helping them hold a job, helping them, in today's society, understanding what a need and understanding what a want is a hard thing. And if you're not really taught that skill, it's very easy to spend all your money on a whole bunch of wants. And so the folks at Family Promise, I sit on the board, so it's not my doing. I just help them where I can. But we have a great team, and Tina Huck and her sustainability coach and volunteers, where they really help these families get sustainable.
And we had a opportunity to meet some of those families at our annual gala that we had just a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Where we were able to raise here in the community quite a bit of money, better year over year than the previous year, from what I understand. And some of those families were highlighted there, and that their stories were really moving. Family Promise did a wonderful job at the gala, highlighting them and having them express in their own words just what Family Promise has meant for the community. And then so the Luminary event is another event that's coming up for Family Promise. Is that right?
Yeah. And so we're going to light up, like I said, 1,060 luminaries in Vickery Village Garden. So we're just asking people to come down on October 15th. anytime between 6 and 8 p.m. Come down there, walk through the garden. There'll be some kind of what we kind of call our facts that kind of talk about the people who are experiencing homelessness in Forsyth County, like what that starts with, and then ending with some success stories as you walk through the walk around the courtyard through the garden, and then just go have a bite to eat at the local restaurants. So we think it'll be a great event. We hope you guys can come, and it definitely will. Our tagline for that event is shedding a spotlight on homelessness in Forsyth County.
Yes. And I am so excited because this is my first year participating. So if you know Jan or I, then we've been actively soliciting you for luminary purchases. And I'm just imagining in my mind how beautiful it's going to be with all these luminaries lighting the path and us actually physically walking through that evening. So again, as Jan mentioned, please come out and visit us on the 15th of October. If you'd like to learn more about how you can participate or more about Family Promise as a whole, you can visit fpforsyth.org. Going to shift gears here to Angela.
So Baldridge Lodge is a nonprofit that serves teenage boys who are in foster care. We had our first resident join us back in 2008, and so that was 15 years ago, this past August. So this year in 2023, we are celebrating 15 years of serving young men. I'll talk a little bit about the event that we're having, but just to give a little bit of the history, we were first founded because there was no boys' home in the area. And initially we served mostly young men that were involved in the juvenile justice system. So they had had some sort of infraction, involvement with law enforcement. But over time, the amount of young men that we worked with in that situation decreased, and we are currently in the position of serving 100%, for the most part, young men who are in foster care. So these are young men who are not able to live at home due to no fault of their own. It's abuse, neglect, other trauma situations, and so they are in the foster care system, and we are able to provide a safe home for them. Like I said, we're celebrating our 15-year anniversary, and the event is taking place on October the 8th at Rock Solid Brewing in Ball Ground. The tickets are on sale. You can go to our Facebook page, and there's a link there to the event, which will take you to the ticket page. But the regular tickets are from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. It's kind of a come and go situation. They're $15, and then we also are offering a VIP experience for $35. So at the brewing company at Rock Solid Brewing, they are tapping or creating a special IPA beer just for our anniversary, and so $1 of every pint that's sold until it's gone is going to go to benefit Baldridge Lodge. So the VIP experience involves getting to see the beer tapped and like a tour of the brewery, as well as a meal ticket. The regular tickets are just the event and some special swag that we're giving at the door. So we encourage anybody who's interested in just celebrating with us. It's a casual event, just a Sunday afternoon to just kind of enjoy each other and remember where we've been and kind of where we're heading. And on that note, I'll mention too that, as I said, we are a group home for young men in foster care. We have 12 beds in Baldridge Lodge, the building itself, the group home. But just like our young men, get older and grow and change, we as an organization have also done that and have added a few additional programs that we are now providing, one of which is aftercare. So when a young man either returns to his family after being in foster care for a period of time or ages out of foster care, our aftercare program follows up with both the family and the individual young men that are living on their own, just to continue to provide support and make sure that they remain successful in their endeavors. And then our most recent program that we've started is an independent living program for those young men that are staying in the foster care system, but they're over 18 and have graduated from high school. They can either be working full-time or going to school full-time, but we're providing housing for them in apartment and providing initial financial support and case management support. And then over time, as they get older and more able to financially support themselves, our percentage of support goes down and their percentage of support goes up till they're 100% sustainable and, taking care of themselves as grown-ups thriving in the world. So that is a very new thing that we've just started. Just actually this month, our first resident moved into that program. So it's pretty exciting to see, the ways that the organization is growing, the ways that the young men that we serve are growing and, becoming more and more self-sufficient. So.
Angela, I have a question, and thank you for being with us. A question about Baldridge Lodge. Baldridge, maybe a terrestrial feature of the geographic area that we're in, but the lodge aspect. I know some of our listeners might be familiar with Baldridge Lodge specifically. I'm not, but I have heard of other lodges like the Moose Lodge and other fraternal orders that use the lodge nomenclature. Are you affiliated with any of those?
Not in any way. It's the lodge. I think the idea was a kind of a safe haven, just the idea of a place where young men could be and feel at home and be safe and taken care of. And so if people that have ever been in the building, there's kind of a lot of sort of lodgy motifs in there. And it's just kind of part of the history of it. But the idea of lodge is just safe shelter, safe haven, home.
Community. It made me think of camp exactly before I even knew what it looked like on the inside, just of those fond summers where you'd go with your buds and, you had some activities. If you're open to tours, maybe we could come and take a look sometime.
Absolutely.
Never been before. Yeah. I'm curious just because unfamiliar with its inception. So you're celebrating 15 years. Who started the organization 15 years ago?
Yeah, that's a great question. So actually, we give. I guess you'd call it the credit, partly to Ruth Good, who is the executive director at the United Way of Forsyth County. She gave a presentation in 2005 to the Rotary Club of South Forsyth, and she pointed out that while the county had a home or a shelter for girls, there was nothing for boys. And so young men in the county that needed a place like Baldridge Lodge had to be moved out of the county, so that it was more difficult for them to visit their families. And reunification, of course, is harder when you aren't visiting on a regular basis. And so in the South Forsyth Rotary Club, which I am now a member of, not even coincidentally, Buddy Lang and Charlie Smith were two members of the club at the time, and they basically looked at each other across the table and said, let's make it happen. And from there they did. They formed a board, started raising money. Within a few months, I think they had like $80,000 raised, and then about $800,000 pledged upon the receipt of the 501c3. So that money was used initially to build the building that we are in now. It's built on county property, which they thankfully rented to the organization for $1 every 25 years. And so we own the building, the county owns the property, and it's a great partnership that we've had now for 15 years.
Congratulations to you. It sounds like you're making a wonderful impact.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to have learned some more about the organization today. For those of you listening who are curious, you can visit baldridgelodge.org. And again, that event is on October 8th at Rock Solid Brewing, and they're celebrating their 15th year anniversary. We're going to bring Kosta into the conversation. Welcome to the show. Welcome back, shall I say.
Thank you for having me here. Yes.
You're here as the chairperson for the Greek Festival here in Cumming. This is the second year that we're celebrating together, and I know you throw a great party. Tell our listeners what the celebration is for and about some of the hard work that goes into actually putting it together.
Well, sure. Actually, this is the 19th year of the Cumming Greek Festival, so I have been the chairperson for the last 5 years. Even through COVID, we did the drive-through festival. The Cumming Greek Festival has been a centerpiece in Forsyth County, as well as for our church to community outreach and the ability for us to really give back to the community. We have gone and had taken the admittance fee off, so it's actually free admission and free parking to come out to the Cumming Greek Festival. Of course, you pay for your food, but when you go, it's a situation where come on property, we have a live Greek band. Kosta Kostanis is the Greek band leader. He and his sons come in from Louisville. All the children from our Sunday school at our church, Saints Raphael, Nicholas, and Irene, are actually the dancers that come out and perform for everybody. We are charity focused, so we actually do give back to 3 particular charities in Forsyth County: Cops and Kids Program, the Firefighters Benefit Fund, as well as Family Promise. And at 3 o'clock on the Sunday of the 22nd of October, we will be giving a check to all 3 of them at the stage. So if everybody wants to see that presentation, it's at 3 o'clock. But so we have the hours and the dates of the Coming Greek Festival this year, as we are always the 3rd weekend of October, and with the dates being a little messed up this year because the first of the month is, on Sunday. October 20th from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, October 21st from 10 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and then on Sunday the 22nd from noon to 5. Most of our food is handmade. We make them on property, and we've been baking since July to prepare. Everything's frozen, and then we bring it out and cook it on site and have everything ready to go, packaged for the Greek Festival opening. The biggest focus of this, though, is I want everybody to understand that we are a Greek Orthodox Christian facility. And operation, and our organization welcomes people in. You do not have to speak Greek to come to church with us. And we hold lectures about Christianity, the history of Orthodoxy, and where that and Catholicism and all the denominations come from. Also, you can do a church tour and meet Father Barnabas, who is our very dynamic speaker, and one that is very interesting to hear about history and the like. There's pastries, baklava Sunday, vendors from, we have a knife vendor who sells handmade knives. We have jewelry and handmade crafts, as well as a lot of dancing
lessons. I don't dance well, but all of the organized dancing that goes on is truly beautiful. It is beautiful the way that they kind of just float around on the dance floor.
And we have a lot of great teachers who teach those dances to our children. And so it's and our children range from kindergarten all the way up through high school. And then we have a young adult league that's going to come out, and they're going to do some at night. So we have a lot of entertainment, a lot of food. Our signature dish, I know, is our bone-in lamb shank dinner. Oh. That is over orzo with a side salad. We have a half a chicken dinner. We have also the ever so popular gyro spanakopita, which is handmade.
I'm glad you said that, because I don't know how to say that word well.
So, yep, it's not a gyro. It's a gyro. And then spanakopita, pasticcio, moussaka, all the Greek favorites that you could think of, as well as, like I said, the vendors and live Greek band. And we will also have a drive-through open. So if you want to come out and get your pastries and just grab it through the drive-through, we will have that available as well.
This really is the big event for Saints Raphael, Nicholas, and Irene of the year. They do so much. They do Boy Scouts events during the year, voting for the county. It happens on one of the church premises, one of the many voting locations in the county. The Greek Festival, many different events go on throughout the year, but this Greek Festival is the big event of the year, correct?
It is the second largest attended event in Forsyth County outside of the Cumming Fair. So we're only 3 days, and I know the biggest question that we always ask, everybody asks us is, oh my gosh, this food is so wonderful. Where is your restaurant? Well, I want everybody to understand everybody who works for the festival are volunteers. Mm-hmm. We hand make everything as volunteers. It's made with love, and that's what makes it probably the most yummy food you'll ever eat, because people do take pride in what they serve.
But hold on, we don't discriminate, because if you're inexperienced and you just want to help and you enjoy pastries, you too can be a volunteer. Kosta has lots of opportunities for people to participate and actually lend a helping hand for the festival. You can actually visit CummingGreekFestival.com to learn more. I'm sure purchase the awesome t-shirts that you have on. I love that look this year.
This is actually an old shirt.
Is
we have
it?
we have the new ones that actually have the date on it. We're going to sell them at the festival in the I can't never say it. It's more of the general store that's going to be at one of the vendor booths. They have a lot of Greek oils and a lot of really cool things. That's more of a general store feel, run by Maria Chapman. And they're going to have the shirts there for $25, and they are going to be a blue heathered with the logo on the back, not on the front like this one.
Okay.
And it's going to have the date on it, so we can commemorate the day that you come out and celebrate and be Greek for a day.
Year over year. Well, I'm excited. I know that Cameron's going to participate in some of the heavy
Absolutely.
lifting, and I hope to participate and join in the festivities this year. For those of you who are curious to learn more about it, again, ComingGreekFestival.com. And that is going to be hosted at St. Raphael Nicholas and Irene Greek Orthodox Church, which is located at 3074 Bethelview Road in Cumming, Georgia as well. As we kind of head towards the end of our segment, I do just want to give you an opportunity to share whatever you feel like is on your hearts about the organization or your participation within with our listeners. And again, how they can reach you and participate as well.
So for those of you who don't know, everyone's eyes turn to me. So,
It's because you're at the head of the table, Jan.
well, that's because you stuck me here, Amanda. But I'm happy to be here. Well, I guess what's on my heart is just, Family Promise just has a team of people behind it that help with so many volunteers. And, as we help these families, it's so amazing to me how many people come together and really embrace moving these families from homelessness to homes. But for us, it really is about the support that we receive from the community, whether it's in those volunteers hours or financial hours or financial dollars. And, so I'm going to tell you, yes, come to my Luminary event. It will be amazing. And it's an easy lift if you're worried about, do I have to spend all day? Just plan to come have dinner down there on the 15th and really show these families that are experiencing this homelessness that our county does care, to try and find a way to make some change. But without that support, like the Greek festival, I'll tell you, go to that. And you don't know this, Kosta, but for my church, I served on the pastoral council. And when it was like within my first week, we were going to go into a capital campaign and everything. And all I heard for 3 months, 3 meetings in a row was, how do we get the Greek festival like they have down the road? It was amazing. And so we went to the Greek festival and I'm like, we need one of these. So I'm just going to tell you guys, you should go. If you haven't gone, if they're above these 3 events, it's amazing. So, don't kill me, Tina, for saying that, but it is cool. I mean, the Luminary event will be cool, but go to that one. It's awesome.
I think we've got everyone's social calendar pretty much covered for October.
October, yes.
October 8th, October 15th, and October 20th.
20th through the
right?
22nd.
Every weekend. And then if
could've
you're
done that
still
better,
looking for
Amanda.
things to do on the 28th, go to the Halcyon because their kids' Halloween event's going to also benefit Baldridge Lodge. So full
Nice.
month of social activities right there for everybody.
Benefiting our community.
Yeah. So I guess it's my turn then to say one last thing. I would just echo what Jan said about the community. As Baldridge Lodge, as you just heard me talk about, was built because of the community. The community said we need this, and the community made it happen. And it's because of the community continuing to support us financially and with in-kind gifts, food, because 12 teenage boys, can you imagine the amount of food that we go through in a day? Anyway, people are always dropping off food, and that just the support of the community is really meaningful to both us as staff at the lodge, but also to the residents. They know that the reason that they get to do some of the cool things that they do is because this community cares about them, and that's really meaningful and impactful to them too. So just want to say thank you to the community, and please come on out and celebrate with us on October the 8th.
All right.
Well, I guess I'm last, and I do appreciate the endorsement of the Greek Festival. But first and foremost, I am a member of Saints Raphael, Nicholas, and Irene Greek Orthodox Church. We have been in Forsyth County for over 2 decades now, and the Greek Festival is just an extension of our community outreach in the way of showing love and support through our food, I would be remiss to say how just absolutely blessed that my community has all of these wonderful people that work the festival, because I will tell you, from July through the end of the festival on the Monday afterwards, I think I can't even tell you how many man hours that we put in on that festival, and it takes every single person in my church. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to first say thank you to every member of Saints Raphael, Nicholas, and Irene Greek Orthodox Church. I have people that come in from out of town, from outside of our church to come help. We have, as Cameron, you mentioned, we have a Boy Scout troop that is part of our church, that they come out in full force to help out as well and volunteer. And I have other volunteer organizations now that I write letters for every single one of the kids to get volunteer hours to come out and actually help with the festival as well. So the man hours it takes to put this on, from 4 days a week of baking from July through October, you can only imagine how many times people go there. Also, we have a lot of great corporate sponsors as well. And I'd be remiss not to mention some of the big ones that we have here in Forsyth County: Lakeside Pharmacy, Grecian Euro, Ingram's Funeral Home, Fulton Science Academy, Olympus Greek Taverna, Giorgio's Restaurant, that's right down the street, Athens Cuisina, that's in Gwinnett, Talk of the Table, and Picasso Brothers Printing, just to name a few. So these are the people that really put forth just a substantial amount of effort to make the Greek Festival work. And I want to say we're proud as Saints Raphael, Nicholas, and Irene also to be one of the first churches in the area to help with Family Promise, and we do every single quarter with having people stay with us as a guest of our church, offer some great food as well for every single quarter. So there's just a lot of things we do as a church, and the Greek Festival is just one way of giving a great opportunity for people to experience the joy and the love that our people have of serving the Forsyth community.
Wonderful. And I do just have to toss my hat in the ring here, because Forsyth Business RadioX is excited to be a sponsor this year of Greek Festival and also of the Luminary event, in addition to Cameron's company, which is Imagination Construction. I just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I enjoy being able to highlight you and kind of share with the world all of the great work that we're doing here in our little community. And I'm going to toss it to Cameron so that he can speak for our household as to why we like to participate, and then we will close out the show. So, Mr. Marmolejo?
Yeah, thanks, Amanda. I think it's apparent, especially in this show, how much synergy we have. We all have our personal and professional interest and our interest in serving the community, and there's so much overlap here. It's like my church also volunteers with this organization, and this organization is partnering with this other organization for this goal or this initiative, and so we all come out and support each other, and that's something that has just been readily apparent to me, and something I've been thinking about, just how great our Forsyth County community is, how lucky we are to be here, and it's a growing community, but it's also a close-knit community. It's something I'm very proud to be involved with, and something I find myself thinking about more often. I think about that and, of course, the Roman Empire, but I think about how great Forsyth County is, and how lucky I am to be here.
Oh, well, thank you. And you heard it here, folks. If you are looking for activities and a way to give back, we have got your October covered. Please come out and visit the Baldridge Lodge at Rock Solid Brewing on October 8th. And I'll make sure to put all these events in the show notes so you guys can easily access them. Don't forget, following that, we have the Luminary event at Vickery Village on October 15th, and then the Coming Greek Festival from the 20th through the 22nd. And all those links will be available on the show notes so that you can register and hopefully participate. For our guests today, I'm your host, Amanda Pierce Marmolejo, and this has been a special edition of Forsyth Business Radio on Business RadioX.